This is what I was going to propose. So in the lecture, Giuliano said that he never encouraged us to work with crystals. Remember?
No, I didn't hear him say that.
Well, he did say that. He said, I have never encouraged working with the subcrystals. And so I thought, well, how did that come about? Who got the idea to download the subcrystals? So I thought...
Oh, the subcrystals. Oh, I thought, not the main crystals.
Maybe I should ask him about it in the Q&A. But
yeah.
I was wondering if the idea was to download the subcrystals so they are in the ground and hold the galactic multidimensional energies.
Okay. Do you mean the crystals from the Planetary Tree of Life or the subcrystals from the PCOLs?
And the subcrystals we have downloaded in our cities of light.
Yeah. Well, you know, I did meditate quite a bit on it. The sense I got was, first of all, to connect to them and then to place them in the planetary cities of light, the triangle that we worked with on Saturday.
Also, you want to download additional subcrystals?
No.
No.
No. Well, look.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Bianca.
I do
Hi.
I'll do it. Hi. I'll do what I feel prompted to do. And then if you feel, you know, if we want to discuss it or change it, that's okay.
Well, we have the Q&A coming this Friday, so I will ask him what should we do with the subcrystals. Since we already have them, I thought maybe just leave them alone, just so they are there holding the energy and stop working them, stop rising them up, because he make it sound like every time we work with the subcrystals, it draws the energy from the main 12 crystals.
That's the way they understood.
But it's an inexhaustible energy. You know that the energy comes from the crystal temple, so it's not that it can be depleted.
Yeah, that's
You know, what interests me particularly was a statement in the book, Raising the Spiritual Light Quotient, that all planets are maintained by thought form fields, and that the planetary Arcturian Tree of Life is a thought form field, and that the Earth needs a newer, not newer than the Arcturian, but it's been upheld by thought forms that are no longer good for us and that do not lead to ascension or progress even. And so the sense that we need to connect our arcane thoughts with the thought form of the planetary tree of life, and that it's important to hold that and help it to really ground and become the motivating structure of the planet.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where I'm coming from anyway.
Yeah.
So, and it's the lecture I'm doing today, or the meditation, is not so much about bringing the energy of individual spheres as bringing a form that can be used by the PCOLs and the planetary ocean reserves and stuff, you know? So that can be a generating image or thought form, you know?
Yeah. Hello, Alicia. Hello, Diana. Emmy.
Oh, good. I was afraid with the holiday people wouldn't come. But
Emmy is normally working on Mondays, but as it is a holiday, she's able to be with us.
good.
Oh,
wonderful.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Arizona.
Oh, great.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Great.
And you see, full house. Amrit asked me yesterday if we should cancel. She thought nobody will show up.
It's full house now.
Yes.
Full
No,
house.
actually,
Yeah.
it's easier. Yeah.
Everybody except Bob. He's with his
He's away. Yeah.
parents in
And Patty's not here. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How are we doing on time?
1 more minute.
Yeah. Okay.
So Bob made me a co-host, so I will be able to do screen sharing. So in a minute, I will put up the image of the planetary tree of life. And there are some great images on our website as well with photos of the actual site where they are downloaded.
I was curious how many people listened to the lecture on Saturday night. Me too. I'm not getting.
So just few of us. Okay, good. So Juliana said that the etheric field of the planet is really depleted. It needs a repair. There's a big leakage of life force. So what we did was working with the Arcturian tree of life and the etheric crystals. So please listen to it. There should be a recording on our website.
Yeah.
All right. So here you can see the image. And so I don't know how you see it.
Yeah, I'm only seeing a portion.
Yeah, let me see.
But we are going to work with the top
I
3. So yeah.
So you want to zoom
good. Okay. That's the complete form anyway.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's start. Okay.
So please.
And so this may be a new form for some people and very familiar to others. It's called the Arcturian Tree of Life, and it's an upgraded version of the old mystical Tree of Life that's been on the planet for a long time. So, as Juliano explained in his monthly channeled lecture on September 2nd, and also much of this is based on the book Raising the Spiritual Light Quotient by David K. Miller. All planets are held and sustained by particular thought forms, which form the foundation of that planet's vibratory existence. And these thought forms operate on many levels, where we can experience them as words, as sounds and music, and also as visual symbols. So today we're going to work through the visual thought form of the Arcturian Tree of Life. Now, the Arcturians several years ago created a manifestation of this thought form on Earth by downloading giant etheric replicas of the huge crystal in the Crystal Temple on Arcturus, and then placing them with the help of the group of 40 deep into the earth at various points. And one of the things that's puzzling at first is they're scattered, some are close together, some are far apart. Their positions on Earth do not reflect visually the form that we're looking at, but on a holographic level, they reproduce this form. And each of these crystals holds specific qualities and the thought forms are arranged in two parallel rows, flanking a central column, and the central column synthesizes the qualities of the flanking columns. For instance, on the chart, you can see Mount Shasta, which is loving kindness and compassion, and Volcan Poez, directly opposite, is strength, discipline, and judgment. So these are alternative qualities, complementary qualities that need to be balanced. And in this case, they're balanced by Montserrat, which carries the Messianic wisdom of Sananda and vibration of Sananda, and also a bit by the Istanbul hidden knowledge revealed. One of the things I wanted to ask Giuliano was, because he talks about there are multiple relationships between all these different crystals and spheres. And I wondered whether we can only follow the ones that have named paths, or if there are other relationships that work as well. Anyway, just a technical point. So today, let's work with the aid of the Ascended Masters in the Ring of Ascension to bring the top crystal, Mount Fuji, and the two parallel crystals, Lake Moraine and Bodensee, into a unified form. Okay. So let us prepare by taking 3 deep breaths and entering a state of spiritual relaxation. And now feel your aura and expand it into the shape of the cosmic egg. And Giuliano sends down white higher light to fill your aura. So let's feel that coming through the crown chakra, expanding and filling the aura with white light. You feel the glow. And next, Giuliano sends down blue-purple Arcturian light and fills your aura with this light. And you can feel how it raises the vibrations, but also stabilizes the aura. And we call on the 3 subcrystals at Taos, Santa Fe, and Crestone Needle to rise and to support our meditation. You can feel how they create interactive patterns, and the larger planetary tree of life is also going to create interactive patterns that we can use. So now let us bilocate to the Ring of Ascension, using the corridors of light which Giuliano is sending down. So take a moment to bow and greet the Descended Masters and request their help in connecting with and strengthening the Arcturian tree of life thought form on Earth. So now focus your third eye attention on the thought form image. We'll take a couple of minutes to meditate on this image. And let it develop into a clear thought form. This image will energetically create the foundation for the new earth. The crystal on the top of the thought form was downloaded at Mount Fuji, historically a very sacred site, and it holds the energy of undifferentiated energy, cosmic energy, essentially the energy that comes from the central sun. So focus on that point with your third eye. Feel the luminosity and the expansion. And we'll go into meditation for a little while. And let your soul be drawn in to this brilliant, exciting white light. And this undifferentiated light from the Godhead spills down through the planetary thought form and becomes more and more manifest. But the structure involves duality. The crystals, the spheres that are opposite each other, represent similar qualities that need to be balanced. And of course, one of the issues for the earth has been the lack of balance, the lack of integration of dualities. So this works with integrating the dualities so that the best qualities of each can be manifest. So we move first to the sphere represented by the crystal at Bodensee in Deutschland, Germany. And it represents wisdom, abstract, overarching wisdom, wisdom from higher levels. So let's, to the best of our ability, be receptive to the being and the message of this sphere, wisdom. And its partner on the Tree of Life is downloaded at Lake Moraine in Canada, guarded by Archangel Michael, but it represents understanding in a more practical sense. So the cosmic wisdom needs to descend into a form of knowledge in a more practical way that we can use to structure our society, to get work done, to create practical manifestation. So let's meditate for a moment on the Lake Moraine crystal and then feel the tension between the two, the abstract wisdom and the practical application of that wisdom as knowledge and functionality. So basically, it's downstepping the vibration of the higher wisdom into a form that is usable for us. And you'll notice there are lines connecting Mount Fuji and the two centers, and also a line connecting the two. And Giuliano has said there are many, many relationships that we can work with. The one that he worked with on Saturday was the triangle that is formed by these three centers. So we'll return to that and hold in your awareness the triangular format, the triangular thought form, and the energetic flow from the points. the spheres in the thought form. The Arcturian tree of life is basically the thought form for a more just society, a higher society, a fifth dimensional society where war and conflict is not known. So now, with our arcane thought power and our imagination, our visualization, let's lift that triangle and bring it into the area above your PCOL or your ocean reserve of light or your community if you're not in the PCOL. And using the visualization, hold the thought form above your city and then slowly let it descend into your PCOL or PORL or community. And stabilize it, make it rooted so it's a permanent feature of the etheric blueprint or pattern of your city, ocean, or site. And there's a kind of wave of relief to have such a balance created. Some of the conflict settles down. There's space for thought and consideration before rashly acting. And there's the ability to put higher wisdom and light into forming practical structures and functional patterns. And the plant and animal worlds seem better balanced in this respect, better able to carry out the genetic higher wisdom that they're programmed for into a practical form. But I think it's a great relief to them to find that humans may be moving also in this direction. And in the book, the spirit, Raising the Spiritual Light Quotient, Giuliano mentions that these major crystals that have been downloaded from the crystal temple are huge generating forces of energy. And the various cities of light, reserves of light, are subcrystals that receive energy from the major crystals and are boosted by the energy from the major crystals. And they can certainly be called on if you find that your city or reserve is losing energy, becoming dull and dispirited. You can call on them to send powerful bursts of energy to the place you want. Okay, so our cities are never alone. They're supported on many levels and energetically supported by the Arcturian planetary tree of life. So if your place seems pretty stable, then you can begin to return to normal consciousness. So arrive in your spirit body, 6 feet above your physical body. Orient yourself and slowly descend in perfect alignment. Taking a few deep breaths. Wiggle your toes and fingers and open your eyes.
Thank you very much.
You're
Excellent.
welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Amrit. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Very good.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
It's good work, Emran. I was
Thank
able
you.
to anchor that triangle into the community here, and I could actually feel it anchored. So but it was good. It was good that we worked with this tree of life.
Yes.
Super. Thank you.
Yeah. Good.
So the diagram, in form of a PDF, is attached to the email you received from. So you can print it out and put it on your wall, and that's one of the ways how to solidify it in the third dimension.
Yes. It's interesting also, you can feel it in your body sometimes, you know? You start with the crown chakra and your shoulders and your eyes. It can be embodied as well. So
yeah.
Thank you.
But it's a whole, you know, an antidote to our planet is in total chaos now. The structures are breaking, they're distorted, and they're old. We don't need them anymore. But we do need a form to hold the planet as we move on.
Yeah.
And if you noticed, I will share the diagram one more time.
Okay.
So there are the connecting links between the spheres, and they are numbered. And Giuliano asked us, the planetary cities of light, to choose one of the paths. So Tao's City of Light embodies path number 2022, which means that we focus on working on the energy of Montserrat and Mount Shasta, which is balance and harmony and loving kindness for Mother Earth. Santa Fe chose path number 23, which is again working with, is it correct? Amrit, is it 23?
I speak a little louder. I can't hear.
Did you choose part number 23? I remember you worked with the hidden knowledge.
Yes, that was a long time ago. I don't actually remember, but I'm feeling especially strongly now, path 21, between Mount Shasta and Volcan.
That's right. Yeah, because we both have Mount Shasta subcrystal. So we both chose to start with Mount Shasta and go to the other two crystals. So that's a way how to solidify, anchor this sad form into the physical reality by each flight embody one of the paths.
Yeah.
So this is advanced work, and we need to start working with it some more in our cities of light.
And I love that connection between Mount Shasta and Volcan Poes because partly as a female and a mother, you know, Mount Shasta is very appealing, and justice or rightness of that sort, you know, as opposed, I mean, Mount Shasta's qualities can turn into license or lack of discipline. And so the sense of balancing the two, you know, I don't know, it's very close to my feelings anyway. Yeah.
If there are some meditation for the one that you choose, especially?
Probably Ariana knows, or Kim knows more than I.
There's only one meditation we have used in biorelativity, and that's where we bilocate to the North Pole. We visualize the tree of life above the North Pole, and we channel it into the central meridian that goes from the north to south. I think that's the only meditation where we work with the entire tree of life.
There's also a book produced by David and I forget his name, but it's about the Arcturian tree of life. It's part of it's the records of a course that they gave, but it's very technical and very Kabbalistic. So one might find possibilities there, but it's a bit heavy sledding to get through that and find something usable. But I mean, this time I was planning to do a completely different meditation, but I just meditated on contacting Giuliano and asking him, was that the right meditation? And this is the kind of meditation that came up. So I think you can rely on that as well, you know?
Okay.
That we have the guidance and yeah. And I think you are very intuitive. You are very intuitive. You'll be self-correcting if something is not quite right. You'll sense it and you'll find the right pattern over it, you know.
Yeah.
And with a pure heart, you can't go very wrong anyway. You know? We're just trying to help. So.
Yes. Yes.
I remember Giuliano said at one point that often we work with 2 crystals at the same time in biorelativity. When we work with three crystals, it's so powerful that it should be used only like in states of emergencies or severe scenarios. It would be good to ask him about that in the upcoming Q&A, because it feels like now we are in the times when we could use 3 crystals. What do you think?
That's my feeling too. You know, vibrationally we're in a different place.
Yeah.
And things that were difficult or dangerous earlier are beginning to be available to us now.
So my question is, the minimum of working with the crystals to elevate crystals is 3, 4, or how many we can elevate?
That's what
that's my question for the Q&A. Yeah.
Yeah. In the past, we would typically use 1 or 2. Rarely we use 3.
Yeah.
Tim, what would you like to say?
Well, I do know that there's about 2 or 3 biorelativity meditations that use the crystals in triad. So they do create the triangle.
Yeah.
And the crystal in Costa Rica, volcano Poas, has been used with Mount Fuji. It's been used with Copper Canyon. It's been used with the one in Canada. So, and it goes to the particular intent of what you're healing. So I will look and pull up those and see what I can do about bringing them up to date, and then get it over to Tracy and pass it by David and see if we can't come up with an updated couple of meditations for this.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Because that's what I was thinking. I said that depends on what we're gonna be working. That's the way that we do the triangle. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. And I do remember that the main ones using Volcan Poas worked on unblocking things, unblocking the meridians, unblocking whatever, opening up polarities, unblocking polarities, etc. So
that's a good.
that is a good crystal to use in the work. It's also very supportive. Copper Canyon is very supportive of the crystals you bring into the triad, so it will support strongly the other 2. So again, if you're using Poas to remove blockages, you can bring in Copper Canyon to amplify that energy, because it's receiving amplification energies from the crystal, the Arcturian crystal above. So and then you can do those through that way. And then Mount Shasta is used a lot as well too in the triangle. So let me go digging and let me see what I can come up with, and we'll go from there.
Great. I saw a lot of Montserrat too. Montserrat, because Sananda, they always go to Montserrat. Yeah.
Right. because we've got when Jane was there, in some of the meditations she brought forward, we took time to connect with Montserrat to bring the energies into our meditation. So we're using that crystal to bring the energy from the mother crystal into our meditations. So and into ourselves, so we can be greater channels. So it's used. Onesies, twosies, threesies, like Ariana was saying.
So my next question is, the crystal that we have on load, that we have in the Cities of Love and Ocean Reserve. So what are we gonna do?
I'm gonna ask about it in the Q&A, but I think personally what I would suggest is to leave them as they are, resting, holding the energy, and in our meditation connect with the Montserrat, and that way you connect with the entire tree of life. So replace that part where we are invoking the subcrystals to rise, go back to connecting with to Montserrat. But let's see what he says.
Okay. I think it's also I think it's also important to hold the whole configuration. Like that's the blueprint, the plan, so to speak. So it's very good that we work with specific pathways and particular crystals, but the whole is also needs to be somehow imprinted on everybody's soul that this is the blueprint for the new earth, you know? Anyway, that's my opinion.
And to support that, the bottom two Sephiroth, the one is attached to the earth. The bottom Sephiroth is the earth. So all of this goes in, and as we can keep it cleansed, keep it functional, bring in the energies, bring it down. We're bringing it into the earth and creating the new earth and the ascension that it needs. So yes, it's great to work with this. It's important to work with this so that we can do just that.
I wanted to mention that for the, I guess Ariana has been reading Cedars. I think she said she was, by Elena Denon, and at the end of it, she talks about these floating cities that she sees as in the earth in the future, in the next couple hundred years. So of course, you know, the planetary city light work that we are doing is probably a precursor to all that and helping to begin the blueprint and building of that. It was just interesting. It's the only other place I've seen that concept. And I really, really like Elena Denon's work. She works with the intergalactic people. Did you see that, Ariana? It's like the very end of the book.
Even when you go on internet and Google cities of light images, you will often see images of them floating in the air. Like islands.
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice.
It's elevated reality, right?
That's kind of the new earth, and that's the fifth dimensional earth. And they say they go back down to the physical earth to, I don't know, for technical construction and I don't know what all they do there, but mostly they're just living in that fifth dimensional new earth above, just like we're talking about, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Good work, everyone.
Great work, everybody. I got to check out now. Take care. Everybody stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Be well, everyone.
Bye.
See you, everyone. Amy.
Take care.
See you.
Thank you all.
Carolyn.
Bye.
Bye.